Good morning, everyone. If I could get everybody to start coming in and having a seat, we're going to try to get started. That's good because I just forgot when I was speaking to you.
Yeah, so you're going to introduce Trincy. Trincy will do Robbie. Robbie will do Theo. Theo will do Taylor. And then I'll come up at the end.
You want to? Good morning again. If I could have everybody start to have a seat, we're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to wait just one more minute. Well, good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I am Russell Martin. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Marketing and Public Relations here at Piedmont Tech. And welcome to the official kickoff event for the latest capital project, Greenwood County Capital Project Sales Tax Initiative, hosted by Piedmont Tech, Greenwood County, and Greenwood School Districts 50, 51, and 52. As a lifelong Greenwoodian, I am truly privileged to gather here today with so many community leaders, educators, and partners in progress. The work you'll hear about shortly is a clear example of what happens when community rallies around a shared vision. I also want to thank the Greenwood County Chamber of Commerce for providing the refreshments today. If you haven't been able to get a cup of coffee or a snack, you can do that after we're finished here today. And to get us fully underway, it is my pleasure to welcome Chamber President and CEO Trincy Williams to the podium to share more about the vision and partnerships that are making this initiative a reality.
Thank you so much, Russell. Thank you all for being here today. It's truly an exciting day. Over the last several months leading up to the election, several individuals made phone calls, presentations, just emailing friends to make this day possible. So we are truly thankful for all of you for saying yes to Greenwood. And so we truly appreciate your time with with us today. And I want to recognize our CPST committee members. And so, of course, without these individuals, today would not be possible. We thank you so much for your time in reviewing all of those applications and thoughtful consideration for all of the projects that are currently on our list. I am just going to go through this list in alphabetical order. I won't separate them by committees because I think you all are great with everything that you do. So we have Paul Bagnoli, and also if you are here, please stand. Paul Bagnoli, Gerald Brooks, David Buckshorn, Kim Chalmers, Howard Corley, Rossi Corin, Brian Dixon, Jennifer Donlin, Josh Garvin, Sloan Griffin, Ruby Harlow, Charlie Herndon, Jan Housel, Keller Rogers, Charles Lewis, Tripp May, Jim Metford, Costas Migdalis, Furman Miller, Shantae Morton, Willie Norman, Kevin Prater, Renee Simpson, Lonnie Smith, Faye Sprouse, Chip Stockman, Charles Thomas, Jerry Timmons. Those are our committee members. Would you all please stand if you're here and recognize? And lastly, I want to recognize our 2024 CPST commissioners, Margie Blaylock, Steve Coleman, Ann Gumby, Leslie Lane, Steve Riley, and Aaron Taylor. So if you would please stand if you are here. I believe I saw Leslie Lane. Did I see? Yeah, thank you. So thank you all so much for being here once again and for your time and dedication to our 2024 CPST projects. So next we will have who do we have next, Abby? I'm sorry. Robbie Templeton is up next. And so Robbie, he is Mr. CPST on the Friday updates. So he's going to update us on all things CPST.
Thank you so much. Good morning. I am Robbie Templeton, County Councilman for District 6, and this is not your Friday update. But we're going to have one right after this if Dr. Rivers will so kindly join me. So we'll be recording that right after that. If you follow our social media at all, you've probably seen the Friday updates and you know two things. One, I'm very passionate about CPST. And two, I will talk to you about it all day if you'll let me. But Abby says I got to keep this under 5 minutes because Theo will take everybody else's time. So I'll do my best. All right, so I'm going to take a look back at our 2016 CPST. I have been able to highlight some of the game-changing events and investments across the county. We've got beautiful parks like Gray Street Park and Foundry Park. We've expanded the Benjamin E. Mays Historic Site, updated the Fire Service Master Plan and added new fire stations, developed the North Greenwood Industrial Park that's brought us E.A. Swing. We're improving the Art Center, built the Gateway Landing boat ramp, and just this past Friday, we highlighted the new tiller truck coming to the City of Greenwood Fire Department. That's going to be a very interesting truck, two-driver system, really cool. But from Troy to Ware Shoals, from 96 to Promised Land, every corner around the county has been shaped by this CPST, all without adding a single penny of debt to our county. Let me say that again, all without adding a single penny of debt to our county. So I'm telling you, Stephanie Dorn is really excited about that, but you as citizens should be as well. Now, if y'all know me, you know that my passion lies in recreation and fitness. And my biggest thrill has been watching the transformation at the Greenwood County Recreation Sports Complex through the CPST. But the Greenwood County Recreation Complex, the J.C. Fox Boozer Complex, Youngs Park have all gotten major upgrades. The Greenwood County Recreation Complex is now home to the Greenwood County's first all-inclusive playground where all children of all abilities can play together with conveniently accessible bathrooms, close enough that parents don't have to pack a lunch to get there. We've added new pickleball courts. which stay packed. We could use more because apparently pickleball has taken over the world. We've resurfaced tennis courts, added 3 new artificial turf fields, an all-purpose grass field, and built a baseball building with updated fields. Greenwood County is now what we'd hoped, a destination for sports and recreation. Council wanted recreational opportunities for all of our citizens and make us a hub for sports tourism, and that's what we've been able to do. Just a few weeks ago, we hosted 33 softball teams that used every single field at both the recreation complex and the J.C. Fox Boozer complex, bringing in sports tourism dollars. The Greenwood County Recreation Complex facility opened late February, and we've already surpassed $2 million in economic impact. I'm gonna say that again. We surpassed $2 million in economic impact. But beyond tourism, the CPST, thank you, I like that. But beyond tourism, CPST is boosting participation in our local sports programs. Right now, we have 573 youth participating in fall sports: football, baseball, cheerleading, volleyball, and tennis. That's a 24% increase over last year, and it's a 93% increase in our junior tennis program. And you're gonna hear it here first. Coming July 3rd through the 9th of next year, we'll be hosting the Dixie Youth 11-12 State Baseball Tournament. That's 24 teams, coaches, players, moms, dads, siblings, grandparents, all coming to the Greenwood County Recreation Sports Complex and spending money in Greenwood County. That deserves a clap too, by the way. But anyway, I'm convinced that this is a direct result of your support of the capital project sales tax. And I'm hoping that maybe a few Friday update cameos didn't hurt. But we now have facilities that the community can be proud of, places that showcase the very best of what Greenwood has to offer. Thanks to the CPST, we've created spaces where the community wants to play, compete, and gather. And I couldn't be prouder of what's still to come. Now, I could go on all day talking about why the CPST makes sense for Greenwood, but I don't want to steal thunder of our chairman, Theo Lane, who may be the only person who believes in and loves CPST as much as I do. So I'm going to pass the mic off and let Theo tell you about what's to come. But before I leave the podium, I got to tell you that none of these projects would have been possible without your yes vote to the CPST, and we thank you for that.
Good morning. Rob, I don't know if I'm more enthusiastic about it than Robbie is, but I'm extremely enthusiastic about it. I think, as you all know. Abby reminded me before I got up here today, she said, now Robbie's looking back and you're looking forward. But I can't help but look back just a bit, and Abby's going to get real scared now because, as you can see, I've made all kind of notations on things I wanted to weave into this. But the first thing I want to say is I remember that in 2015, I was in the Medford Family Life Center speaking to probably 350 people as the chairman of the advocacy committee at that time. And I remember walking to the podium and thinking, man, wonder how this is going to work out. Not my talk, but the CPST proposal. Well, boy, oh boy, how has it worked out? So the first thing I want to do is to credit the smart voters in Greenwood County who, as Robbie said, this doesn't happen without. But in 16, as you probably know, and if you followed us in 24, a 2-to-1 majority vote of approval, that's a voter mandate, folks. And when I travel around the state of South Carolina, people ask me all the time, how do y'all do what you do in Greenwood? And what I say to them is, we have the luxury of a legacy of tremendous forward-thinking leadership. We have a collaborative community that comes together, and quite frankly, we're just trying to hold that place marker and continue to do those things. The other thing that Abby will probably mention this later. Abby's squirming right now because I've not even moved in with my prepared remarks yet. But I want to recognize Trency, and Abby will again, because Trency Williams not only attended every CPST public meeting that I'm aware of, but she stood out in front of voter precincts where we thought the voting would be heaviest throughout early voting and on election day on November 5th. That deserves a round of applause. So Robbie's not wrong. He and I both love talking about the capital project sales tax. But from an economic development perspective, I'm going to say one thing to you all that I say to every group I stand in front of. Through the great work that James Bateman and his team have done, you know, people kind of thought the sky was falling when we lost Fuji and then Ascend, and we're saying, oh, what's going on? What's going on in Greenwood? So through the great work of the County Economic Development Office, James and his team in the past 3 years have brought in $1.1 billion in new investment, have totally replaced those jobs. I think James told me several weeks ago, to the tune of about 250 plus now. And I think in our next scheduled employment increase, it comes in our fee and lieu agreements, we're going to be, what, James, close to 500 plus? Is that close? Putting him on the spot. Close? Okay. So, and I think that deserves a round of applause. Abby's already mad at me, so we can pass on that. Physically, the capital project sales tax makes sense, and that's, I guess that is a pun. All those pennies add up, but they do so without putting the full burden on our residents. I can't think of a better place that we'd be having this celebration today, because you will remember that in 2016, Dr. Rivers now has the Billy Odell Advanced Manufacturing Center. It was #1 on the list in 16 for obvious reasons. It helped us secure, well, it helped us partner with business and industry. It helped us secure the Swing Company out on 25 North, which was the first party to enter our economic development complex, the counties, which some of you may not know, but we spent about $3.8 million, is that close, manager? About $3.8 million developing that property. We sold the building for $5 million. We rolled that money back into the further development of that park, and if you've been by there lately, we're now embarking on the second stage, and we're building another spec building. So for all those people that said you're crazy, it's gonna sit there for 10 years and never sell, missed on that one. So, but again, great to be here at Piedmont Tech. It's certainly the place to be to do exactly what we're doing today. Robbie touched on recreation, but the CPST is much more than that. It's an economic driver. It brings jobs to Greenwood County. It gives the opportunity for our children to have careers and stay here. I've heard you all speak so many times about, you know, our young people are leaving here and they're going to other places to work. Well, we're going to try to change that. It improves the quality of life, it strengthens infrastructure, and it supports public safety from EMS, Sheriff's Department, Police Departments, Fire. The CPST is an investment in the future of Greenwood County, and it improves our quality of life without placing the burden of debt on future generations. If you don't know it, the other thing I'm weaving in is you live in the only county in South Carolina that carries no bonded debt. I'm going to say that again. The only county that carries no bonded debt. And that is a credit to Stephanie Dorn and Toby Chappell. And you have not had a millage tax increase here except for one up a half and then down a half. I'm looking at the manager again. Don't let me misspeak. In now about 12 and a half years. I challenge you to find another county that can boast of that. So, I'm way off script. So what we're going to do now is take just a moment to talk specifically about some of our projects. So Abby, where's Abby? We got it? Okay. So what you see here first is we'll take a look at a few of the incredible projects that are coming out of this. Two of the most exciting, I think, are the public safety projects at the new Public Safety Training Center that you see an artist rendering of here. The Safety Training Center and the renovations to the City of Greenwood Fire Station 1. The training center will give all of our first responders a place to sharpen their skills. We'll have a burn tower, we'll have a driving course, we'll have a firearms training range. So right here in Greenwood, our people will get their training here, and we'll also be able to offer to other counties, especially rural surrounding counties who don't have this benefit, to bring their people here and train with us. This is going to be very exciting. Station 1, Fire Station 1 downtown, They man about 53% of all the fire calls that come out of the city of Greenwood is what I'm told. Their renovations will include upgraded lighting in the apparatus bays so that our firefighters can check and service equipment more easily, more efficiently. We're going to replace old heaters in this building with more efficient infrared models. We're fixing a lot of plumbing issues. We're creating storage space for protective gear, and we're adding, I think what's very important, a decontamination shower that protects firefighters from harmful toxins after they have been out and engaged in fire work. Next slide, please. Infrastructure projects. Infrastructure projects, as you all know, they're not glamorous, they're not sexy, but they sure are necessary. The CPST will help fund improvements in water lines, sewage lines, and repairs to 9 county bridges. I was doing just a bit of research in preparing for these remarks today. The American Association of Civil Engineers says that 53% of the bridges standing in America today are deficient. Think about that for a minute. And the South Carolina DOT says that over 100 deficient bridges are being repaired in South Carolina right now, just in the Midlands alone. So our goal was, we're not going to wait for somebody to get hurt in Greenwood County because the bridge collapses. So there will be 9. And I want to remind you now, and it's a good time to do it. When we do these projects that aren't glamorous and sexy, the Department of Commerce estimates for us, based on our 16 revenues, that 40% of all the dollars that come into Greenwood County are going to be paid for us by people outside of Greenwood County. In 2016, we estimated that 7,000 people a day drove in and out of our county to work. I just told you, we're trying to get those people to live in Greenwood County, aren't we, with what we're doing. But 40%, think about that for a minute. Based on our 16 revenues, we estimate that $120 million is going to come in this capital projects CPST. That's $48 million, folks. That's $48 million. That's a pretty nice little gift given to us by other people. And as Robbie just talked about our recreation complexes, I've had people ask me, why are you spending all this money on kids playing ball? Well, think about that for a minute. It's the gift that keeps on giving. You just heard $2 million economic development impact already. And we didn't even open it in January and February. Isn't that right, Robbie? So let's go to that one. The Powell's building. No, I skipped. I'm sorry. The Greenwood Community Theater. Greenwood Community Theater, another project that's very close to my heart. So the renovation of that historic theater, which was opened in 1935, so it's 90 years old. The building has roof leaks, it has structural cracks, and it has failing technology. The capital project sales tax funding will give it new life. It'll ensure that it remains a place where children can explore the arts, they can improve their literacy. Stephen Gilbert does a phenomenal program in his interactions with the school district, and they can participate in inclusive programs like the Penguin Project. And if you don't know it, the Penguin Project, which is for special needs children like my son, allows them the opportunity to get on stage with typical kids. How great is that? And Greenwood, again, as we like to be first, was the first community in South Carolina to ever do that several years ago. So thanks to Stephen for his vision in doing that. The Powell's building downtown, I hate that Kelly McWhorter's not here. We'll also be renovating the Powell's building, and it'll become the new destination center and home of Discover Greenwood, our destination organization. And this will be a welcoming landing spot for visitors and a beautiful transformation of the entrance from Uptown Greenwood, as you see right here behind me. The recreational complex that Robbie could talk till tomorrow about, the CPST will fund phase 2. Phase 2 of this complex will be adding an indoor facility with 4 basketball courts and 8 volleyball courts and some administrative offices, I believe, Robbie, I remember. And this won't just expand our sports tourism dollars, but it'll also give residents, including seniors, a place for year-round recreation and wellness activities. Jimmy Peden doesn't live with us anymore, and I hate Jimmy's moved to Greenville, but if those of you who knew Jimmy knew that he's coordinated volleyball tournaments throughout the state for many years. And a couple of years ago, I called him because Robbie and I were talking about how many volleyball courts do we need in this facility. Jimmy Peden says then that on average in South Carolina, a three-day volleyball tournament will return you in economic development dollars $250,000 per court. So think about that for a minute. We'll have 8, and we're going to schedule a whole lot of volleyball tournaments on the weekends. That's $2 million of economic development impact on those weekends. So I hope you're kind of getting the long view of what we're trying to do in Greenwood County. I thought that number was staggering. So in concluding, these are a handful of 27 projects that will happen because of your support for the CPST. And how much of that money is paid for people outside Greenwood County? 40%. So that's right, 40%. Don't you forget it. Tell all your friends, shout it from the rooftops. So it's my pleasure now to introduce Dr. Beth Taylor, Superintendent of Greenwood 52. And Beth's going to share with you more about the partnerships within our community that are making the Technical Innovation Center possible. The very first project, the 24 CPST, and Beth will tell you how that's going to benefit students all across Greenwood County. And Abby, where's Abby? Where are you, Abby? So Abby, what I always close with? Today, Greenwood grows greater.
Thank you to Theo for sharing. Wow, great information. And just want to say good morning to the members of the community, our county officials, business leaders, educators, and partners. It's an honor to stand before you today as we officially kick off this exciting chapter in Greenwood County's continued investment in our children's future. Today's represents more than just the launch of the capital project sales tax initiative. It represents the power of partnership, a shared vision, and a bold step forward to prepare the next generation to become college and career ready. Our 3 county school districts are proud to stand together with Piedmont Technical College and our county leaders in proposing the construction of a new state-of-the-art Technical Innovation Center located right here in Greenwood's campus on Piedmont Tech's campus. This isn't just another facility, it's a true launch pad for our community's young people in preparation of the careers for tomorrow. Greenwood County students will gain access to world-class, career-focused education in fields that matter, such as health science, building construction, agriculture, cosmetology, culinary arts, business, and the rapidly growing industries of software development, sports medicine, and automotive technology. With shared classroom and lab spaces, the Technical Innovation Center, also sort of called TIC, will strengthen our ability to teach, train, and transform futures together. Thanks to the collaboration with Piedmont Tech, we're opening new doors to programs like truck driving training, supply chain management, and heavy equipment operation, which are programs requested by our local industry and urgently needed in our regional workforce. I want to thank our county officials, our industry partners, and the leadership of Piedmont Tech for believing in the power of education and collaboration. Together, we're not just talking about preparing students, we're doing it. Together, we're building not only partnerships, but the brightest futures for our next generation. Let's make the Technical Innovation Center a promise kept for our students, our workforce, and most importantly, our community. Thank you, and at this time, I would like to invite Dr. Hope Rivers, President of Piedmont Technical College, to the podium to provide her remarks. Thank you.
All right, there's always something about being last. So everything that they said is really what I could say this morning. And let me say, Theo, you and I are good friends and Gamecocks together, but I didn't know that we take the notes from our people and we just do whatever we want to do. So let me just start off by echoing Dr. Taylor. Your comments were spot on. This is an important partnership to us. She's exactly right. It's about working together and shaping our community. The previous capital sales tax project gives us a fantastic example, and Theo mentioned it, of the Billy Odell Center of Manufacturing Excellence. It helps us to see the economic growth potential that we have in this area. The Odell Center serves as a huge selling point for prospective businesses that are considering locating in Greenwood County. The new collaboration between Piedmont Technical College and the school district is simply the next step. It will build on the success and expand on the ability to offer innovative training programs for everyone, for our current Piedmont Technical College students, for our high school students, for our dual enrollment students. Without question, this investment strengthens the county's foundation for economic and workforce development. So I am certainly happy and proud to stand before you, a partner in this effort. I see many people around the room that played a huge role in making sure that today was a success. I would ask them to stand, but you know who you are. Some folks on my team that were right there with Trency cheering the whole way through. I wondered if Rusty was gonna buy some pom-poms. I'm like, okay, every time I turn around, off they go. And then I would be remiss before I do this last part if I didn't take a moment to thank the Piedmont Technical College Foundation. Because when we were trying to think about where we would even put this center if we were to do it, the foundation stepped up without any question and said, we have some land that you all can certainly look at. So let me ask, if you don't mind, the members of the foundation, we have the chair here, but the members of the foundation, if you all would please stand for the role that you played in making this a success. I saw you stand up and pop back down, Dave. We got you. All right, now I would like to ask our Greenwood County superintendents, if you would come forward, stand here. If our chair of county council, Theo, if you would come forward. We wanted to share something special with you all today. All right, I am excited to introduce a very early concept of the future Greenwood County Technical Innovation Center. For those of you that are familiar with the campus, you know that this will be right beside our Billy Odell Center. For those of you that work in economic development, you know that when prospects come in, when they walk through that Billy Odell Center, they cannot believe it. So can you imagine not only having the Billy Odell Center there, but not too far away, having this technical innovation center where you have both college students and high school students going in and out. It will be an amazing building for the entire community. The center will have flexible labs, advanced technology, and all the things. But the Technical Innovation Center is more than just a building. It is a promise. I want to say that again. It is a promise that we gave, those of us that were marching with it, we gave this promise to every single person in Greenwood County that we would collaborate and make it happen. I am so proud to be here today as part of this major collaboration. Thank you. I think from here, did you want to? Okay, yes.
Yeah, I will do a brief closing for us. I thank you so much for attending. I think what makes the capital project great in Greenwood County are the great projects that it supports. It's only as good as the projects that it's building. And we have projects that touch every corner of our county, and that's because of the incredible projects that are submitted. That's because of the incredible projects that were selected by our Capital Project Sales Tax Committee and our commission. So I thank them again for their support. But also, as Robbie always says, none of this would have happened without our community's yes vote. So we thank you for that. We thank you for that continued support. Trincy, thank you for going to the polls and educating people on what the Capital Project Sales Tax really is. We can't talk about the Capital Project Sales Tax without thanking Josh Skinner, our Capital Project Sales Tax Coordinator, who keeps all of these projects running. He likes to hide in the back, but he keeps everything going. So we appreciate that. You can continue to support the Capital Project Sales Tax if you think, how do I support these projects when it's not an election year, when these things aren't going on? You can do that by talking about our projects, by following our social media, by sharing our updates. All of that stuff makes a difference. We want our community to know where their money is going. We want them to see these projects. So we appreciate your support as we continue to share these projects and we do updates. And again, if you ever need a speaker at an event to talk about the Capital Project Sales Tax, find me, find Josh, find Robbie or Theo or Trincy, all of us. We love talking about what our community is building. So we thank you so much for this. Have a wonderful day. And again, continue to support the Capital Project Sales Tax. Thank you.